telling them, which to me is crazy. We had this data available and we weren't letting teachers know, hey, what you're doing not only is great, but it's working. And you're outperforming any of the expectations that are being set on you. And we want to know what you're doing because we want to be able to replicate that in other schools around the state. So taking that information, one, letting the teacher know how great of a job they're doing, unbelievably important, but also having that teacher give us insight into what they're doing that is helping them to beat that expectation and being able to replicate that around the state, I think, is another critical piece that we're trying to work to achieve.
With the testing, I know they keep, my daughter's a teacher, she's got her master's, and she has a team of 4. And they compare the scores to one another, which I don't really, sometimes my daughter has real high students, and some think she have struggling students. How is it fair to grade a teacher when they have the kids that are struggling, one, on their own, they are slow learners, or 2, they don't have the support at home to get that child to learn? How is it fair to grade a teacher on the same, comparing apples to apples, is what I'm trying to say.
That's why I go back to that value-added matter, takes all those considerations into effect. And in fact, typically you'll see the lowest performing students get the most growth. One of the biggest challenges teachers have is keeping high-performing students high because we tend to teach to the middle of the class. So that's how you look at differentiated instruction, and it starts with making sure they have access to grade level content and instruction each every single day with targeted, explicit interventions that are going to support those teachers. But just because a student is a special education student or learning language from as a second language or lower socioeconomic status, those are realities we all face that those students can learn. And we got to make sure we're measuring growth and giving teachers credit for the growth they're getting and schools credit for the growth that they're getting.
Sure, I just want to add one thing. For too long, we kind of looked only at simply the achievement and not the growth. And I think that's one of the big differences of what we're doing, is not just simply looking at the end result, but how much progress did we make, and making sure that teachers understand and know the level of progress that they made. They may have a student coming into 3rd grade that was basically at a kindergarten level, but if they helped that student get to a 1st or 2nd grade level, they may still not be where they ultimately need and where we want them to be, but looking at the amount of growth and difference that that teacher made over the course of the year is so important. And one of the things that frankly we have not done, we've simply focused only on achievement, and now we're looking at all of those factors together.
Since you raised up to the $50,000 for each teacher, my question is, like, my daughter went on and got her master's. So is it going to be an incentive anymore? Because if you're going to not have the, everybody start off at 50, is it going to be an incentive for somebody to want to go get their master's anymore? And also some of these schools, I forgot what they're called, the ladder climbing on the salary schedule. Is it going to? Steps, yes. Some of these school districts are going to be stopping that because of this. So what I'm asking is, like, is it going to be an incentive for teachers to work harder with everybody starting off at the same pay?
It should. I mean, they're doing that now. They're starting off at the same pay. The base level now is just a lot lower. It was $36,000 and now it's $50,000. So you're helping bring new people into the field, or keeping a lot of our teachers, particularly in smaller districts around the state, in the classroom. We've heard from a number of teachers who were at that $36,000, $38,000 pay scale that were going to leave the teaching profession because they needed to make more money. And by raising that minimum up to 50, absolutely. But also when it comes to rewarding our veteran teachers or teachers with master's program and other certification levels, we're giving ultimate flexibility to the district and allowing them to make decisions. If they want to pay a teacher $100,000, they can. I don't know that they will, but they certainly could. And most of our districts are going to continue to reward their best and brightest teachers because they want to keep them in the classroom. But there's no incentive for them to allow those teachers to leave and go to another district. So making our districts more competitive and helping teachers have a higher level of base pay is a good thing. Not only that, but we also make sure that every single teacher in the state of Arkansas got at least a $2,000 pay raise. So every teacher, not just new teachers, not just teachers who are making less than $50,000 are getting a raise. Every single teacher in the state is getting a pay raise, and it is all funded completely by the state, not the district.
How long is the state going to be able to keep
In
that?
perpetuity. We've made a commitment as a state. There's no greater investment that we can make than in our students' education. And we have, and Senator Dismayne was absolutely adamant that we don't look at what happens in year 1 and year 2 and year 3 and year 4, but we look at what that means for the long term of our state. He's a numbers guy. He lives and dies by the numbers. And that was really critical and really important for members of our legislature, that this wasn't like a one and done thing and then we say, oh, best of luck to the districts. This is something that the state is committed to and has set aside and make sure we're prepared to fully fund the base pay as well as the increases in perpetuity.